DeAndre, first and foremost, what are you taking as a whole from these first four games from your running backs? Because all four guys have gotten carries. Devante's out there, George is out there, as you said they would be, and Jerome and Prince-Tyson Gulley obviously are getting involved. So, as a whole, how do you view them right now?
Well, right now, I'm excited because we're getting better. I see those guys being more comfortable with the offense. They're starting to make plays. They express to me that they feel better about what we're doing on offense. So I think they can get comfortable and understand that all will play. Maybe not as much as they want to, but they all will have a role in trying to help us win football games.
What have you taken from Jerome Smith so far? Because this is a guy who's coming off a 1,000-yard season who really hasn't let up. Looks like he's even gotten better in how he moves when he's in the open field. So what do you take from him from what you knew coming in to what you've seen?
Well, what I take is that he definitely went into the season or off season trying to get better. I try to stress to him about scoring touchdowns in the red zone. He's doing that. Catch the ball out the backfield. Try to make people miss in the open field. Now, we still need to continue to do that, make people miss, make plays. But I take the fact that the kid is actually trying to get better. And we need him to be better, but he's working towards that right now.
When he comes in and maybe you're a yard out of the end zone, a couple yards out, it seems like to him he knows it's going in and he carries that ball in without too much trouble. Where has that confidence come from that you've seen in him that he seems a lot more effective than he used to be in the red zone?
Well, I don't know what was going on before. I don't know if he had a lot of opportunities to do that, because I know there was other guys that had that role.
Right.
I just stressed to him, to be honest with you, just say, hey, either you're going to get it done or I'm going to get somebody else to do it. So I just say, hey, I'll give you that chance to do it. And as long as he keeps doing it, he'll be fine. So I just tried to be as blunt as I possibly could. He's a bigger back. He needs to be out there and needs to score a touchdown for us when we call upon. And I do the same thing with Prince. He had an opportunity last game and they know. And say, hey, you get one, maybe two opportunities. After that, then that's it. I'm pulling you out. So.
A guy that has been successful, Clay Cleveland, and what he's been able to do, 2 touchdowns in the last game against Tulane, gets targeted more than once, and usually he's someone in the offense that you're used to seeing block, be a help to the offensive line. What made you want to utilize him? What were you seeing that said, hey, maybe Clay can do something here?
Oh, I've never seen him drop a pass. I mean, he just catches everything. I think when you use a fullback, you need that element where he can come out the backfield and catch a ball in the flat. And since I've been here, he's never, maybe one time I've seen him drop a pass. He literally catches every single pass. So I feel comfortable, and we all felt comfortable calling that. And the total expectation was that he was going to catch those passes, and he better catch them. That's the expectation.
Do you have confidence in him moving forward that he can break free if need be, if he isn't this guy that flies under the radar, and if he continues to be utilized, that the ACC will pick up on it? Do you feel he can get himself open, being the player that he is?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. And the deeper we get into this season, we got to keep finding roles for him to help us. That's blocking or catching the ball. But again, that's going to help his confidence. That he can go out there and do it because it's been done in a game. So there's no question that as we move forward in the season that he'll be a big part of what we're doing.
Prince-Tyson Gulley, a guy that was a quick out for Ryan Nassib. If he ever got in any trouble, he was there. Where do you see him right now? I mean, he's shown that he can get between the tackles and he can break outside as well. But he really seems like more than ever, he just doesn't want to go down.
Yeah.
So what do you say?
Well, again, I didn't have the experience of working with them last year, so the roles that they had, I see them totally different. So with Prince, I see a guy that he needs to be able to do everything. He needs to run the ball, break tackles, run inside, run outside, catch a screen. He does that really well. But my expectation is that, hey, I'm not just going to use you on the third down to catch balls. I'm going to use you on first down, and I'm going to run you in the middle on the goal line, and I expect you to score. So I guess my mentality and what I've been able to see from those guys maybe is a little bit different than what we've done in the past.
What have you taken from George Morris II and also Devante McFarlane, because they hadn't been utilized before? You're the one that's put them into this system, working with, obviously, offensive coordinator George McDonald. So what have you seen from those two gentlemen when they're running the ball in your backfield?
Well, George Morris, again, those are young guys that are going to be really good players, him and Devante. But George is a strong runner, physical runner, gets downhill. I said that before. And I like his demeanor on the football field. If you ever watch him, he'll run, he'll pop up, he'll run handball to the official, and he'll run right back and get ready to go again. So I love that about him. And him and Devante are really good friends off the field, but they complement each other on the football field. And I'm excited that they'll be around, with us for a few years.
In the kick return game, what have you taken from, namely George Morris II, because he's been the guy getting, when there are returns, it's him. What are you taking from him in that third phase of the game that's been so vital for you?
Well, again, that's a role. When you're playing behind Jerome Smith and Prince, and then you have Devante, and we haven't had Adonis in there very much, but I had a lot of guys, and that was a way for those guys to get on the football field, which help us out in the special teams game. And they do a lot. Devante, what people don't see in the box score, I mean, he's on every special team, and they're running up and down the field. So at the end of the day, those guys get 30 reps, just as many as Jerome Smith and Prince does. So they're a big part of what we're doing. It's just they're young, so they don't necessarily get the carries, but they're out there helping us win games.
How effective do you think it's going to make you in the future that even though you have two guys capable of being the first guy in Prince-Tyson Gulley and Jerome Smith, that you're able to work out Morris and you're able to work out McFarlane? How good is that for you, not just now, but down the road?
Oh, it's great because these are valuable reps that they're getting on the football field. They'll help their confidence down the road. And also, you feel comfortable if, God forbid, something happens where guys get dinged up a little bit, that next guy goes in and you don't miss a beat. I've always been that way. Like to have a lot of guys prepared to go in, and when they do go in, don't expect us to miss a beat.
As far as Adonis not being out there for your offense, really just toward the end of games, what was the decision to keep Adonis out? And is there an expectation for him to get involved at some point?
Well, we're going to keep trying to get him in. Again, those younger guys, and this is the way the season's gone so far, there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for him to actually get into the rotation. Again, 8 games to go. You never know. He works with us every day, so he gets those reps. He's not on the scout team. He's with us. So down the road, you might see a little bit more of him. He's just waiting his turn, basically.
How's he been? How's he responded to you as a coach having to wait his turn?
He's been great. He's actually been great. I've been really pleased with his attitude. He stays locked in. He's prepared. I have no problem if we do need to put him in there. He'll be able to go do the job.
As far as Ashton Broyld, this is a guy that's used all over the place. Mm-hmm. You don't have him in the backfield. He's more out there as a wide receiver. Was it hard for you to give up an athlete like that?
Yeah, it's been really hard because he likes to run the ball, and I know that as well. But at the end of the day, he helps us win. And as long as we can keep getting the ball in his hands, he's going to do some good things for us, so I'm happy for him.
When you look at the offense as a whole, what do you take away from the 2 wins that you have? Because, Wagner's competitive, Tulane's competitive, but now you're going into the ACC. So how do you view these wins, and how do you express them to the team?
Well, again, we try to look at what we're doing as a team, and if we hold on to the ball, if we're physical in the run game, we get first downs, we get 4+ yards on first down. It gives our offense a chance to move the ball and score. So really it's just like the formula that we have, that if we're doing things that we expect to do, we should have success against anybody that we play. So it's just a way for us as an offensive staff to say, hey, as long as we're getting 4 yards on first down, we're moving the chains on the third down, we're scoring in the red zone, we'll compete with anybody we play.